Okay, and welcome back to another Cobalt's Couch. We've just had race, I think, race three on Study Time SG. So this was and also the console leagues had their track as well. But these were the tracks that won the track competition. But first, introductions. I'm joined by Gunnerbuster of the Xbox League.
Yo,
Norton, captain of BHR.
Hey there.
And Shuby, not only is he a member of BHR, he kind of just runs the whole league.
Hello.
How is everyone?
Tired.
Tired. You didn't even
Ill.
race?
No, but I was driving all yesterday.
We'll start with just
Oh.
I guess we'll start talking about the PlayStation League. This one was cool. We had an all-new winner in Paul. He's actually never won. Like, he raced all of last season. I think he never missed a race, and he's never won a race before. So he's managed to beat Dasher, RMD, Button, Fidestic, all these great drivers.
absolutely. I did not expect it, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think anyone did. He's in a very nice car with the Corvette. But it's just, beating Dasher is a major
Yeah.
feat. Like, winning a race is cool, but beating Dasher is something else.
Especially when you are in the same car as him. That's
Absolutely.
impressive.
Yeah, it's good.
They're
It's good.
twinning and winning.
They had a smaller turnout this week. Last week they had 12 show up, and this week only 9. So we lost a few people from the first race that I guess weren't happy with their performance. We do see this quite often with new drivers. They will do poorly in the first race and then just kind of drop out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I was saddened to see only 9. I was like, where'd you guys go?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't help that Dandoob didn't show up. What was that all about? He reckoned he was going to be there.
I have no idea. It's like, we had planned for him to be there, and he just wasn't.
I think he actually said in last week's one of these that he was going to show up, but chose not to, I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah. And then if we have a look over...
I am... Sorry.
No, go.
I'm just not sure if he had properly planned when he wants to be, because I heard some rumors that he wanted to be also in the race 3 on Acceleron, so
Oh, really?
not sure where the plans went.
I know the Acceleron last minute for BSB, they had an addition. Like, they had someone jump in last minute that wasn't supposed to be racing.
Mhm.
It was race
Yes.
2, or did it also happen on race 3?
Yeah.
No, that was race 2 because they had an issue with one of their members and Dan had to jump in.
I feel
And
like
that-
someone... I think AFX said that he also had to do that this week.
Yeah, and AFX
Right.
was the one who couldn't make it to race 2, so
Yep.
maybe that's how they compensated.
And then if we look over at Xbox, Bizor won it, kind of just securing his place as the season champion, so that's not too outrageous. He got second in the last race, so winning this one wasn't that much of a shock.
Yeah, but now we've got confirmed a whole toilet in the finale.
What was this track like, Gunnar?
It was not the best, I'll be honest.
People seem to be big fans of it because it won the track competition.
What was the track?
Unfortunately, the
I
track that won was Bank Stadium.
Big Stadium. Right.
do we remember who made that?
My Fidestic.
Fidestic. Ooh, you think Fidestic would have
Here's
done
my
a little
problem
better?
with that track, right? Because it wants to be in the half pipe, a lot of the turns are high banked, and you need boost for it. There's not a lot of places to build boost.
Especially the bar.
Even with the charges, it's hard to find good places to build up that boost. So just
It's surprising that Fidestic did so poorly for his track because he's finished in, I think it was 7th or 8th for the PlayStation League.
yeah.
You think that having that home track advantage would be really nice. Can we also discuss Jota in the Dream Camper?
Yes, he
Finishing
was in the Dream
7th?
Camper.
In 7th, yeah.
He placed 7th.
The absolute
He
chef.
actually had a custom livery on it on my POV.
Yes. He's using the Windows version.
I know,
The
but
only
I'm
thing
not sure.
the Windows version is good for.
Yeah. The Windows version lets you play against console players and still use the PC mods because it is still PC.
Wait, and you can invite to private lobbies for cross or for that too?
Yep. It's treated as an Xbox.
What?
Yeah,
It's literally
because
just the
it's integrated
Xbox.
with Microsoft.
Yeah, it's the Xbox One
now
X
so.
version on PC. That's all it is.
Yeah, Xbox Series X S servers. Oh, just on PC.
Yep.
Is Arrow in a monster truck this season?
No, he
No.
is not.
Okay, couldn't remember if that
Which-
was this or last.
Yeah, that was last season.
Good
I don't-
for him.
Unfortunately,
I
it
don't know
hasn't
what
made
car
much of a
he's in.
difference.
No,
I
unfortunately.
know that Roro got second in this race.
Is
Or
he
whatever.
still in the?
No,
No.
he's in the Esco.
Oh man. And he didn't win. Oh my god.
No,
How do you take the
He and-
highest
he and
ranked
Corp were
player?
fighting. Just
What?
he and Corp were fighting for third for
That's-
the majority of it, and then they passed me on the last lap because I was holding second the whole time.
How do you take the highest ranked player on Xbox, put him in the fastest car in the league, and then have him lose to a toilet?
Because the toilet's funny. It's about Xbox is about comedy, not skill.
Actually, I just realized Bizor is actually a higher rank than Roro, so that's not
Yeah.
as critical. I keep
Yeah,
forgetting
we're
that
about
Bizor's
we're
got
about
really
having good
rank.
laughs. Like if you were in our Xbox party before the race started, it was chaos, but we were all just laughing our asses off for no reason.
Yep. Okay, on to the big race, the Acceleron race on study time. Wild Riders kind of like showed up here, like they came second and fifth, which was insane. But Kami took the win. So really good for Syndicate. Oh, I think Power Pipes is also Syndicate and he came fourth. So that's
He is, yeah.
Yes,
huge
yes.
points for Syndicate. They took them from third or tied for third to tied for first.
That has also bumped Wild Riders up. Riptide has been dominating so far.
Yeah, Riptide dropped to third this race, which was crazy. It's just out of nowhere.
So I think both race 1
Unfortunately,
and 2 they had.
Oh, sorry. Finish it.
I think both race 1 Riptide got first, right?
Just the first race. Second race was won by Bone Shakers.
Really?
Yeah.
Charles. Right. I was in
Yeah.
that race. I should have known that.
Yeah, so that was awesome. It was just an insane race. There were so many crashes. RJ took an early lead and then got completely obliterated by Ivan coming through one of the corners. Ivan barely touched him, but a mix of desync and the fact that the monster truck is made of paper mache just sent RJ flying.
Next race, the monster truck. I mean,
Sorry, Shuby, you're cutting up a bit there.
6 monster truck is nothing to laugh at.
Yeah. Well, that's 2 races in a row.
Especially when it's... yeah, exactly. I'm just mostly glad for Kami in this one. After the unfortunate that was his first race on Cobalt Sphere, it's nice to see him redeem himself like this.
Yep. Unfortunately, I was actually expecting Den to do much better. He was doing so well for most of the race, and then that desync issue that he had. So he had one instance of just some severe desync with Power Pipes. That ruined his race. We'll see if we can grab the video up because I do have access to it somewhere. I'm just going to bring it up in text for voice so you guys can access it too. I don't know if you guys can actually access it because it's probably still uploading. But I'll bring it up on my end.
We can access it just fine.
Okay, we'll bring it up here and I'll just have a look. Just got to skip ahead a bit. So this desync one was crazy for Den. It was in the 3rd lap. I'm just going to see if I can find the timestamp for it. Here we go. It's at 6 minutes 30 or 6 minutes 40. We'll be able to see it. So we've got Den comes through, enters the 3rd lap alongside Power Pipes. And then Power Pipes just puts him into the wall here, which looks awful, looks really aggressive. But then we look at it from Ivan's perspective.
Oh.
And we can see it's the other way around from Ivan's perspective. So what's happened there? It's something that we have seen in the league before. When you see, you can't physically slam someone, like playing the game normally, even if you're trying to slam someone into the wall, you can't put that much force into them that it stops their car dead like that. That's only possible through desync, where the game has said on your side he's on the outside, and then in his version of the game you're on the outside. So both cars are being pushed left by a force that isn't even there, so they can't push back against it. And that's what's causing this here, which has put them into the wall. We have seen this before, like Infinitrack last season did the same thing.
Yeah. Just thinking about that.
So when you see someone push you against the wall like this and they're driving sideways, not forwards, that is a case of just pure desync there, and there's almost no way out of it. I can only assume the way out of it is to brake, let them get ahead of you, because on their screen you're slamming them into the wall and you like they can't
Or
fight
have a
off.
third party intervene and have someone ram you two away from each other.
And
works.
honestly, Ivan was a bit of a menace this race. He just made a contact a lot, and through mostly desync, it just ruined people. Or like on his screen, he wouldn't make the contact, and people would get taken out. I'm just trying to skip through to this first major corner here.
It just seems like the connection between the European drivers and the North and South American drivers just causes a lot of issues, unfortunately.
It definitely does. I think it's about 2 minutes 5 seconds in. We have Swole bumps Mog, which sends Mog flying. He bumps into Stargazer and Ivan, and then gets flung off the track with Emily, and that puts all 3 of those drivers, everyone except for Ivan, gets flung off there, because on Ivan's screen they don't even touch him, but on their screen or on Mog's screen he hits Ivan, and Ivan knocks him into the other 2, and all 3 of them get sent off the track, and that put them at the back of the track for the whole race. The only one that actually managed to get out of that bottom 4 was Mog, and that's just because he's an insane driver.
Unfortunately.
It's just
something you just gotta deal with in this game.
Yeah. Thanks, Milestone.
That's the random element that
hopefully this fake what happened to Kami also at about 2 minutes 45 or about 2:49, you'll see it. He just gets sent flying. Not Kami, it's Power Pipes. I don't know why I keep thinking this is Kami. Probably because it's just a syndicate car.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just gets thrown here. It's insane. And with even like through multiple perspectives, I can't see what causes his car to just catch that much air.
Honestly, on that part of the track, you can fire off just naturally by boosting at a slightly wrong angle, but you can save it because it's a magnet track. Some people started doing it during practice on purpose. So I think what we are seeing here is a slight bump that caused him to lose contact there.
Yeah.
But he managed to steer it back to the ground.
I think one major part of this track is about 55 seconds into the lap. There's this massive corner just before the cross section. The cross section is dangerous as crap for drivers leading the race, because obviously if you get hit in that cross section and you're further ahead in the track, you're airborne, so you're going to get thrown off the track. It's not going to be such a detriment to the people that are behind because they're on flat ground. But this corner itself is just huge, and you'll see like a couple of drivers take the very inside riding on the black and yellow section, and they will pass like 3 or 4 drivers just with that cornering, which is just bananas.
Yeah, that is certainly a move you can do. It could be slightly risky because one wrong contact with a car that's on the outside of you can send you off the track into the inside where there is no wall, but yeah. It's a tactic.
But I think it's just a happy eye who is totally just new to the league also.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Shuby, your mic is just dead.
The internet decides to stop it not today.
That's rough. Just having a look. There was one last thing I wanted to have a look at. I think it's just up here. So we've got Mog and Swole in the 2 power rockets here. And as they're coming into the corner, I don't know how to say this guy's name. Is it AFX Twin or... I don't know.
Apex.
Basically. Apex, okay.
Yeah.
So as they're coming into the corner, Apex taps Mog, which forces Mog further on the inside. He almost comes off here, but he manages to stay on the inside of the track. That gets him well ahead of Swole, and also because of that, Apex has followed that same line, and the huge gap that this puts between them and Swole coming through these next few corners is insane. It puts him so far behind them just from these two taking that one inside corner and then having the inside on the following corner. That's on the 3rd lap at about 59 seconds. It's just remarkable how much of a difference it makes just to have the inside of those 2 corners and have someone forced onto the outside. I think on the 2nd lap in that same corner. Yeah, okay, this is actually what I really wanted to look at. So the 2nd lap at about 55 seconds, we're watching it from Den's perspective. He's right up there fighting for first place with Kami and Happy. And then Power Pipes, who just aggroed him the whole race, I swear. I swear Power Pipes hit Den so many times. Power Pipes taps him on the back wheel, which sends him wide, and it just causes such a huge gap between him and the other 2 by the time they get out of that corner that he's no longer in contention for first place. Like, by the time they get past that checkpoint and onto the magnet track, there is just like a 2-second gap between them from him actually fighting them, and I just found that insane.
Yep, I think the combination of the wider line plus sliding like this also steals more speed from you, I think, so...
Yeah, that's the thing. If you take the wider line, you are sliding more, so you're losing a lot of speed in the drift. But anyways, on to the next track. Parkour. Is it parkour? No, we're not. We're on the Syndicate track. The Pyramid one, I think, or something. Something time?
Mm-hmm. It should be Temple of Time,
Temple of Time, that's the one. Yes. Alright, so this is Syndicate's track. Should they take the win? Do we reckon that they've got it? Do we know any insider information?
I mean,
well,
you would think
other
that they
than
would.
that, basically everyone on the Syndicate is an absolutely insanely skilled player. I think that's all the information we need.
I think let's have a look at them. I feel like they've kind of dropped the bar a little bit, losing their big 3. Like, they're still good. They're still an insane team, but I just feel like they're... Like, last season's Syndicate would destroy this season's Syndicate.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well...
Season 2 and 3 Syndicate is definitely stronger than Season 4 Syndicate. Like, having Joda, Den, and Smoke, those are just some of the best drivers in the game. It's hard to replace them.
Sure.
Wow.
They did get some pretty strong
Power pipes
replacements,
is
though.
nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, no,
I would
these.
say.
I'm not saying that these aren't strong drivers. I'm just saying that the big three were a dominant force for the first 2 seasons and a very, significant force in the 3rd season. You can't. There's no 3 drivers in the game that are going to replace those 3.
Especially when those 3 were actually really close together and they had
Yeah.
sort of a bond to each other.
Yeah,
That,
exactly.
I think also boosted them a lot.
Yeah.
The thing too about Syndicate is they're the only team without drivers.
Without what?
Drivers.
Should be worth cutting out always as soon as you start saying that word.
Yeah, whatever the main word is.
Should we?
We've lost him.
Shoe?
He's trying to
New
fix
drivers.
New drivers. Oh, yes. They are. He's not wrong. Everyone else has someone new.
Yeah.
I love that I can access that and just look through all the things. Yeah, so every driver here does have experience. Garnables would be the least experienced of them all, but so far he hasn't had the best season. I think he's only had the 1 race, but it wasn't ideal. So I guess they do have the best shot, being that it is their track, so they've had a bit of practice on it. But I think they've had people from other teams coming in and showing off.
Yeah, the track was sort of in the circulation for a bit. Almost everyone out of the competition who practices regularly has seen it already. It's no big secret.
Yeah. A lot of the team tracks have not been big secrets. I was like, we'll do 1 week reveals on the team tracks, and everyone's like, yeah, we've seen them all, it's fine.
Except for the ones that are still under construction, but
yeah,
that's a completely
what's up with
different
that,
story.
guys? Hurry up. They've missed their deadline by almost
We are
a month.
trying.
Okay, well, we've got the inside information on the BHR guys. Who's racing this weekend?
We are honestly not even completely decided yet. The training is still in full progress.
Yeah.
We wouldn't mind revealing maybe, but we honestly don't know ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's no issue revealing because the race will happen before this video goes live. But I think Ivan's a bit thirsty for a win.
Yes, he definitely is. Although I think this last race kinda spooked him when it comes to his abilities. Now he was a bit shaken, thinking he will just destroy everyone.
Maurice. Maurice got ruined.
Wonder where that came from.
It's awful because it put him in last place. I think it only dropped him to about 10th, but he then got passed by the other 2.
Yeah, it shook him up, and there is no recovering from that. You just start making mistakes.
Yeah, he did. He made a few mistakes after. Yeah. He was in 4th when he got wrecked, though, so he was doing well.
I think that was about the best he was doing before that, so it's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Oh,
the thing is,
there's always next time.
So the big 3 teams we've got, Wild Riders, Syndicate, and Riptide, have all just taken off in points. They're all in the 50s. Whereas Rally Monsters, BHR, and Bonecheck are all actually kind of close together. And we've seen this every season, where there'll be 3 teams dominating and 3 teams fighting to just not die. There's only 2 points in it, so BHR is definitely not out of the running.
4 times in a row, baby.
After week 1, I was like, BHR needs to do their best to make sure they're winning, right? They need to aim for first. But right now, right now it's not so bad. You're not that far behind. You're not as far behind as you were in week 1. You just need to do better than the monster trucks, and you can win. Um,
Of course.
We got
we have
podiums, but
two
just two of
podiums,
us
so-
got last.
Yes.
yeah. Well, that's the thing.
One
like,
of these two needs to go, and it's not the podiums.
in this race, Rally Monsters got 6th and 11th. So that's a really bad result for their team. So that's good. That's good for BHR. We obviously
Well, yeah, it is. Just, saying it like that sounds a bit mean, but better result. That's good for us, but yeah.
yeah.
It
Or
makes
like
sense.
having your top driver coming in 6th is not an ideal result. Like, obviously, if you don't want your team eliminated, you don't want that. But at the same time, like, if we look at Bone Shakers, they finished 8th and 9th, so that's pretty awful too. And Riptide, this was just not ideal for them, finishing 7th and 10th. That's, rough.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. One of their drivers got taken out right at the start.
Yeah,
And the other also didn't have out of luck.
That big incident with Ivan and Mog. But Mog brought it back, so like that's just a testament to how good a driver he is, that he was also part of that, and he still finished in 5th. He just fought his way through everyone.
Yeah,
I'm
Morg
sure
is
the
just
Riptide
an
will be okay.
insane driver.
Yeah, well, Riptide has lost their 9-point
No.
lead, so that's rough.
Yeah, but all it takes
No
is one
longer
race.
first, but still safely in the running.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. Yeah, takes one bad week for Wild Riders and Syndicate.
Yeah. And like that's it. They've only had average weeks. Like this is the first bad week for Rally Monsters too, because they were up there in 3rd place, and then like this has dropped them down to 4th, but it's not really. It's not over. There's still so many points left in the season. Like we've barely started. We're still only a quarter of the way through the season.
It's just the beginning. A lot of things can change.
Yeah,
A lot of shook up can happen. And we don't see any team like massively pulling away yet. It's just sort of split, like you said, in the top 3 and the bottom 3.
Yeah. So unfortunately, there is no console race next week. So there's not really a whole lot of discussion on who's going to win that because they're not racing. So we will be able to discuss that one next week. But we can go straight to who's going to win Temple of Time. Is that the trend?
Well, I guess because there's no one else going to say anything from any other teams, I will say it's BHR. And nobody can stop me.
Yeah. I'm a console boy, but yeah.
Well, all the console boys, especially the Xbox ones, all get behind Maurice. So that's essentially just BHR support.
Exactly. He was doing so well last time. Let's do it again, but without death.
And Swole is PlayStation, isn't he?
No,
I think
he's Xbox.
He's Xbox? Oh, okay. Wow.
Also Xbox, yeah. Well, that should divide the support from Xbox a little bit.
Maybe.
Who is the fan of Maurice? Who is the fan of Swole?
Yeah, you gotta remember that.
Or are you just gonna support both at the same time?
Everyone loves Maurice.
Forgot about Miku and Joda too.
Yeah. Oh, Joda's BHR. Oh, wait, Miku's Riptide as well. It's 50-50.
Oh, no. Two Xbox teams.
Does that mean
for attention?
Does that mean the PlayStation guys are going to be rooting for a BSB?
Yeah, maybe.
Are they? Because it's Dan Dude.
I don't think they are.
Good point.
They're going to start following Syndicate because Power Pipes has shifted over.
Good point.
Oh.
So at least they've got some team options too. I'd love to see what the console guys, like who the console guys follow. I love to hear from people who aren't part of the league as to, who their favorite teams are. That stuff just, makes me happy. Just like, cheering on from home, being like, yeah, go BHR. Like, obviously, I'm a huge BHR fanboy, but that's because, like, it's my team. Yeah.
Of course.
I'll be
of
heartbroken if we
course.
lose BHR. But I remember
At this point,
season 2, I was trying to think of some way that we could save BHR, and I was just praying for crossplay so BHR would just get downgraded to Street League. I was just like, please, we just need crossplay and BHR could stay. The dream isn't over.
Oh.
And then he's pulled it
probably
back.
stayed anyways.
I think our roster's a lot stronger than it was last season.
Oh,
so.
this roster is so good. I love it.
Gunner.
Oh no.
It's
Gunner
alright.
is
Having a
gone
lot of issues.
again.
It's alright, we're near the end anyway. Yeah, no, you're right. BHR is just doing... Just has such a nice lineup. I love this lineup for BHR. G11 proved that he is just a phenomenal driver in that last race. I think he came like second.
Yes.
Well,
no,
it
third,
was a
third.
fight
He
for
third.
second, but
Third.
unfortunately, at the end.
And then
Yes.
they also got third this week, just gone. So 2/3 in a row is huge. We've
2
proven.
12ths in a row. You can't forget that.
Well, then
You
it
win
just
some, you lose some.
it just sounds like the rest of the team needs to step up and not aim for first, but aim to just not lose.
Definitely.
Get some points in there because, like,
Instruction
obviously,
number 1: do not die.
obviously, like getting carried by. What do you mean? Do not die. You're the reason half these guys die. You literally destroyed Jota in race 1.
I didn't do anything. He just destroyed himself on me.
It's the way it always goes.
Like, how? How was it me? Did I like magnetize my car before the race or something?
I think you're being paid off.
I loved it. I was watching it and I'm like, oh, great. We've got Jota and Norton side by side. This is gonna... Like, this is the most dangerous place for anyone in BHR to be, is beside Norton. And then, like, 8 seconds later, Jota flies
It's
off the
just
track.
tradition. Honestly, could you imagine if it wasn't happening all the time at this point?
Yeah,
It's just what it is.
it's just initiation. Welcome to the team, Jota.
And it was always the new guy too, and always on Cobalt Sphere.
No, but I really
Akiro, Morris, Jota.
do want to
Who's
see you
next?
guys climb up a bit in the rankings. Like, you guys are getting podiums now, which is good. I think it's time for the rest of the team to stop dragging them down. Like, you obviously can't get carried by one person this season. There's just too many good drivers on every other team. Like BSB has Jarl and Den, who are just phenomenal drivers, and then Rally Monsters has RJ, Garion. So
Later.
yeah, exactly, yeah. So we're not up against teams this season that, for lack of a better word, don't have strong drivers. Every team
Everyone
has
is
strong drivers.
at this point.
Yeah. Which is, fortunately you've got Jota that, means you guys aren't falling behind on that. You're not the only team missing a strong driver. But it's just a matter of
course.
the weaker
Having
drivers.
Jota on the team.
I think this season it's going to come down to the weaker drivers for each team. Obviously, every team's going to have their strong drivers getting their podiums and their top sixes, which is good for your score. But that's going to need to be supported by your backup drivers, your lower ranked drivers, just not losing to the other lower ranked drivers.
Yeah. Well, we'll work on it. It's what we have to do.
Hey, this is a huge start.
Yeah,
this is a really strong opening for BHR. 2 podiums in 3 races is massive. And, hopefully we'll see another one next race.
Hopefully. I mean, it was just 3rd places this time. We can go higher.
Yeah,
Where's the
absolutely.
first?
Reach for the sky.
at least representation in the finale, you know.
I think there's also just a bit of self-doubt in some of the BHR drivers. Particularly Shuby.
Yep. Yeah, I'm feeling that was coming.
No, you seem to like really think yourself like as a bottom of the pack racer when it's like we've seen you time and time again hold podium spots for quite a long period of the race before someone takes you out.
May I remind you of Infinite Track just last
I know.
season?
Hopefully we can remedy that. It was a rough start for me this season, but so was last season, and then I
Yeah.
had the Infinity Track.
I
so.
think don't let the race 2 of this season define your season. Like it's just a rough race. Look at Dan last season. He finished 12th, and then 2 races later finished first. I think that's sort of every time you're on the track is an opportunity to prove yourself, and letting yourself go, oh well, I finished 12th, I don't deserve to race with these people, just kind of doesn't cut it. Like that's how you get into my state where you just quit the league. I just quit racing because I was like, I had a race where I was set for second, and then I missed a checkpoint, and I finished like 11th in the end. And that was pretty much right then and there. I was like, I'm quitting. I'm done. I don't want to be part of this. Just because I'm not good enough. And it's not a matter of I wasn't good enough. I made a mistake. But nowadays I'm not good enough because I don't wiggle and I just refuse to do it. I can't bring myself to wiggle. It's too much. I don't want to do it.
Well, for my situation with my car choices, I have to wiggle.
Exactly, yeah.
Everyone has to wiggle.
Everyone does, especially in Acceleron League. Like, everyone wiggles, and if you're not wiggling, you're losing. I think Stargazer didn't wiggle, and that's why he wasn't able to catch up where Mog was.
I mean, Stargazer wiggles.
Oh,
It's
well,
just that
maybe I'm wrong.
he's not so proficient in it.
Yeah, yeah. And he's in Twin Mill.
Well, I wouldn't underestimate Windmill this much, but yeah, it's not.
I hear it's not good for wiggles.
Let's just say it's not a triple S tier car. It's more of an A tier.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me. This has been a blast. Looking forward to this weekend's race on this. This track is cool. I really do like the track. I do remember reviewing it and being like, yeah, this is great. Even if there's something that doesn't follow league rules, I want to improve this because this track is just cool.
It's a beautiful track. I need to point it out.
It's a Mickey track, right?
Yeah, I think it's actually a collab where half of the track, it's exactly split. Half of the track was made up by Animax, and then the second half was finished and posted by Mickey.
Oh, wow.
So it's sort of this shift in the middle.
How do you even do that?
Stuff.
Fast file along.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Do some file magic.
That phenomenal to see how much effort the community puts into things like this. It's great.
Just a shame that a couple of drivers got locked out of practice because of just the amount of modules that are on the track, but
oh no,
that's not exactly intentional, but
yeah,
you can deal with it.
That's all right. That's just a matter of captains organising training sessions with someone that has the modules.
I mean, they were so nice and cooperative with us that they even made a special version of the track that leaves out all the decorative modules. I think there are jumping towers. Mickey was so nice to make a version without them just for
practice purposes. That's insane.
Just show you how just nice and thoughtful Mickey is.
Oh, really. Mickey is
that he would do something like that.
Mickey is straight up like the second loveliest person that is in this community. I'm obviously the first. No.
I was gonna ask who was first.
That's obviously it's Shuby, without a doubt. It's Shuby.
Yes.
Oh, there's a reason everyone loves Shuby, and it's because Shuby loves everyone.
I hate everyone equally. That's what it was.
There you go.
And that hate is not at all.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Anyway, yeah, thank you for joining me, guys. This one has gone longer than the last couple, but that's all right. I don't get to talk to you
We
guys
had
enough.
a lot of,
We're just the good talkers.
and we had a lot to talk about, you know.
Yeah, there is.
A lot of
Yeah,
exciting stuff.
I feel like these might actually get longer through the season as obviously more things are going on and there's more things to recollect and stuff like that. Instead of just talking about race 3 and 4, we can also bring up points from race 1 and 2, and once we get to like race 10, we're gonna have a whole season's worth of things to talk about.
That's
Well,
gonna be
yeah.
like a movie length at this point.
The feature-length film. Let's just talk about how our guys are driving good or bad, depending on how they went this season. Just don't look at mine. I'm not doing that.
All right. Thanks for joining, and thanks to all the viewers for joining too, if they've stuck around for the last 40 minutes. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see you this weekend for the
It's
race.
been a pleasure.
But then we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Say bye, Shuby.
Bye.
Get back in the cage.